Okay, Donald Trump is squarely in the driver's seat as the pressure mounts for some candidates to bow out now of the GOP race. Ohio Governor John Kasich remains steadfast he is the best option to beat Trump. A Washington Post analysis this week showing a win by Kasich in Ohio could keep Trump from getting the delegates needed for the nomination. But many Republicans see a hard road ahead for Kasich as he struggles to gain ground with the voters. Fox's Megyn Kelly asking him to explain why he's staying in the race.
When we head north, it's going to be interesting to see who can perform up north. Now, we've spent very little money, and other people have spent lots of money, and we're holding our own. We're on the air in Vermont. We're on the air in Massachusetts. We have a strong organization in in Virginia, and we're working in states in the South.
Trent Duffy is the Kasich National Communications Advisor, former Deputy Press Secretary under George W. Bush. It's great to have you on The Real Story. A lot of people are wondering, how does your guy make his way to the nomination? And I know he's hinging a lot on what he just said, those upper northeast states, of course, Ohio, Michigan, Massachusetts. But I want to show you, I know you've seen this, the latest Quinnipiac, Ohio poll, Trump's beating him. Trump's beating him 31% to Kasich 26% in this latest poll. Cruz 21, Rubio 13, etc. Right?
Yeah, no, it's essentially tied. That poll is essentially tied, close to the margin of error. There was a new poll out today that shows us leading Trump. And the real poll, Gretchen, is how John Kasich stacks up against Hillary Rodham Clinton in Ohio in November. And he has by far and away the largest margin there. But what we're finding out today is that Marco Rubio's path has really got to end. He's down 16 points in his home state of Florida.
What?
And he's not going to be able to close that. Yes, a new Quinnipiac poll
No, I know. I've been talking about it. I've been talking about the poll all day. I'm saying what to. A lot of people think, including myself, I'm a little bewildered that they'd be asking Rubio to drop out. He has placed consistently higher than your candidate in the contest, hasn't he?
But his path to the nomination is basically over, because if you can't win your home state, where does he get his delegates? He can't win Ohio. John Kasich can win Ohio. He's going to do very well in Michigan, and he's going to pick up delegates on Tuesday in places like he just said, Virginia, Tennessee, and elsewhere in Vermont and Massachusetts. So he has a path. Our strategy has been the same one that we've been on. I think the Rubio camp is on their fourth strategy, and it's going to implode. It's time for people to realize that Kasich is really the only best chance to stop Trump.
No, and I understand that's your job to put all this out here. I just want to re-point out that Trump's ahead of Kasich in that poll, 31 to 26. Now, in the poll that you also mentioned, another Quinnipiac head-to-head matchup, Kasich does beat Hillary Clinton by 17 points, 54 to 37. I know that another thing was good news for your camp today, because there was a quote from the Washington Post, and here's what it said in part, that it's not clear whether Kasich can beat Trump in the Buckeye State, or if he will be able to stay in the race all the way until March 15th when Ohio voters go to the polls. But if Kasich could beat Trump in Ohio, you subtract 66 delegates from Trump's 1246, leaving him at 1180 and just short of the nomination. So Kasich would then be a derailment to Trump?
Yes, absolutely. That's been the path to the nomination, and that's the only one left. Kasich's the only one left that can beat Trump. Rubio can't. Cruz clearly can't, but Kasich can, and that's why we're satisfied with our strategy. We just had another billionaire join our campaign just before I joined you, Gretchen, a man named Mr. Poizner out in California. So smart money's on John Kasich, because he has a clear path to get to the nomination. The others had strategies that didn't work, and so now that people are starting to look for one who can do it.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, polls are polls, and those events haven't taken place yet, so we don't know for sure if their strategies haven't worked or not. But you did get, yes, you have had a lot of endorsements, and I should mention that the Fort Worth Star-Telegram has just endorsed Marco Rubio, which is interesting because that, of course, is Ted Cruz's state. So here we are, so many moving parts.
Dallas Morning News actually endorsed John Kasich, as did the Waco Tribune, and he's gotten more newspaper endorsements than anyone. But I mean, just think about it. 16 points down in Florida. You cannot close that gap in 17 days. You just can't do it.
Okay, we will have to see what happens. Thanks much, Trent.
Thank you, Gretchen.